Good morning, Jain. How are you? I hope you all are fine, enjoying your vacations at home, doing something great. When you read this chapter, think, and think. In my previous video, I asked one question that why they all were present there, why they were ashamed. So when I read the next lines and next passage, you will come to know the answer. What a thunderclap these words was to me. ऐसा लगा फ्रेंड्स को जैसे ये सुन के कि अब आप फ्रेंच नहीं पढ़ सकते, ऐसा लगा कि आसमान सर पे गिर पड़ा है. ओह द riches, that was what they had put up at the town hall. अक्सर हमें चीज़ों का एहसास तब होता है जब वो हमारे पास से जा चुकी होती हैं, चाहे वो इंसान हो या सामान. जब तक हमारी आंखों के सामने होता है उसकी कोई वैल्यू हम नहीं करते हैं. My last French lesson, why I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn anymore. I must stop there. Then, oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons, for seeking bird's eggs or going sliding on the sas. My books that had seemed such a nonsense a while ago, so heavy to carry. My grammar and my history of the saints were old friends now that I couldn't give up, and Mr. Hammer too. The idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was. After hearing all these things, that this was the last class, it was the last French lesson, it seemed that everything was over. How he ashamed, Franz was ashamed that he couldn't learn French. He wasted his all time doing nonsense jobs. Now he is regretting, but what is the use of regret after the passage of time? When the time is over, what you can do by regretting? You cannot take a single minute back. Poor man, it was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. And now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. It was because they were sorry too that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name called. It was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle all through? Very loud and clear and without one mistake, but I got mixed up on the first word and stood there holding on to my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. He was thinking, he was drawn in his ideas, he was sad, he was very sad. After hearing, he was regretting, and now he could understand. He was able to understand. He was able to understand why whole village gathered there. They were showing their gratitude by attending the last class of the teacher. When he was in his dreams, his teacher called his name, and he was not able to recite a single word. And Mr. Hamel said that I won't scold you today, little Franz. You must feel bad enough. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, bah, I have plenty of time. I will learn it tomorrow. This is a life lesson for you too. Every day we promise that we will do tomorrow. And you know tomorrow never comes. The same thing Mr. Hamel was reminding to Franz, that every day you promised to yourself you would learn next day, but next day never comes. You all know. And what happened? The time is over. There is nothing in our hand. And now you see where we have come out. That's the great trouble with Alsec. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Now those fellow out there will have the right to say to you, how is it you pretend to be Frenchman and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language, but you are not the worst, poor little friends. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. The teacher is saying that now you realized the value of time, but time is not in our hand no anymore. And when we learn these things after the time, when time was over, you realized time. कितने अफसोस की बात है कि चीज़ों की कदर हमको तब होती है जब हम उसको गुजार चुके होते हैं, जब हमारे हाथ से दूर हो चुकी होती है, जब हमारी पहुंच से बाहर हो जाती है. और इसी दुख का, इसी अफसोस का इजहार मिस्टर हैमल कहते हैं. और ये सिर्फ फ्रेंच के लिए नहीं है. कहते हैं कि सोचो कि अपने आप को कैसे एक फ्रेंचमैन कह के तुम फ़ख्र महसूस करोगे दुनिया के सामने, जब तुम्हें कभी फ्रेंच बोलना और लिखना ही नहीं आएगा. और फ्रेंड्स, ये बात सिर्फ तुम्हारे लिए नहीं है, हम सब के लिए ये चीज़ है कि कैसे हम फ़ख्र करेंगे, कैसे हम अपने आप पे घमंड करेंगे ये कह के कि हम फ्रेंचमैन हैं, जब हमको फ्रेंच ही नहीं आएगी, ना बोलने ना लिखने. अपने देश की भाषा को जानना भी नेशनलिज्म का हिस्सा होता है. और साथ में ये भी कहते हैं कि तुम अकेले इसमें ज़िम्मेदार नहीं हो, हमारा भी कसूर है. Your parents were not annexes enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mill so as to have a little more money. And I have been to blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flower instead of learning your lessons? And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? Then from one thing to another, Mr. Hamel went on to talk of the French language. Mr. Hamel is not regretting and scolding France, but he also said that France was not only the responsible, his parents were also responsible. He was also responsible. How he was responsible? He was responsible when he asked France to do his job, watering the plants or blah blah blah. And the same way parents were responsible because they made him to work in a mill to earn few bucks, few money. So both were responsible according to Mr. Hamel. Mr. Hamel का यही मतलब था कि अगर फ्रेंच कुछ नहीं पढ़ सका तो अकेले फ्रेंच की गलती नहीं थी. फ्रेंच को अपने छोटे छोटे कामों के लिए बीच बीच में से पढ़ाई के दौरान पानी दे आओ, ये कर दो, वो कर दो कहते, मैं भी कहता था. वो अपने आप को भी अफसोस कर रहे हैं कि मैं भी जिम्मेदार हूँ. अगर आज फ्रेंच नहीं पढ़ सकता है, नहीं लिख सकता है, तो सिर्फ फ्रेंच जिम्मेदार नहीं है, मेरा भी हाथ है उसमें, मेरा भी कसूर है. और मेरे साथ साथ उसकी माँ भी गुनहगार है, जो उस बच्चे को इधर उधर के कामों में लगा के रखते थे. काम किसी मिल में काम पे लगा दिया कुछ पैसे कमाने के लिए. ये भूल जाते थे कि बच्चे की ज़िंदगी उससे ख़राब होती है. ये हकीकत है, ज़िंदगी की सच्चाई है. Then from one thing to another, Mr. Hamel went to saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, and that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when our people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had to the key to their prison. और वो साथ में क्या कहते हैं, हमारा फ्रेंच इज़ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल लैंग्वेज, most beautiful language, and everybody thinks, you also think, I also think, we all are thinking that our language is the best language in the world. The same thing he is saying that it's the most logical language, the clearest language, all these things. And one more lesson he is giving कि जो लोग अपनी भाषा को संभाल के रखते हैं वो कैद खाने की चाबी को संभाल के रखते हैं. I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience. It seems almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. और मिस्टर हेवन ने फिर से पढ़ाना शुरू किया सबको, और ऐसा लग रहा था कि जैसे आज एक ही बार में सबको सब कुछ उनके दिमाग में घुसा देना चाह रहे हैं। वो जज्बा, वो जोश उनके अंदर था कि किस तरह से, जैसे एक मरता हुआ आदमी कैसे उस लम्हे को जी लेना चाहता है, बिल्कुल वैसे ही मिस्टर हैमल कोशिश कर रहे थे। एंड आई विल एक्सप्लेन रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग इन माई नेक्स्ट वीडियो. Till then, keep watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.